And now they're in this space where we're generating cold leads for them, and they need to have a process down in order to help them manage these new sales inquiries. And if they don't have that, essentially all of these leads that we're generating them, it's just going to cause problems. It's going to be like throwing fuel on the fire. Tradies and contractors making over $50,000 a month in revenue. I will guarantee you 30 qualified leads in the space of 90 days, or it is free. You heard that right. It's 30 qualified leads in the space of 90 days, or it's free. And you're probably sitting here thinking, what the heck? That's a 10x result on what I'm currently getting from my marketing. And that's the point. We have finally cracked the code. We've got this amazing new process. It is working, and we are absolutely rolling this out big time. Head across to tradie.wiki/offer. That's tradie.wiki/offer. Fill in the form, book a time to have a chat, and we look forward to helping you grow. Ciao. G'day, welcome to the Sideshow podcast. You're joining me today for an episode which I have called Why I Burned It to the Ground and Why You Probably Should Too. And I've been wanting to do this for quite a while now. And at the crux of it, I suppose, it's about how I can communicate to you guys the importance of staying current, staying relevant within your marketplace, and making proactive steps to evolve your business. Because if you're in a business that you've been running for a number of years, it's really common to slip into this just cadence of doing the same thing. And it's really risky because times change and everything changes. Landscapes, marketing, services, offering, global crises, all these kind of things pop up all the time. And if you're not on top of evolving your business to accommodate for these things, then you're setting yourself up for a world of hurt. Now, the reason that I'm doing this podcast is for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I've recently been through this with the agency over at Tradies Web Guys, where we literally burned it from the ground and started again. And by that, I mean, like in the space of our servicing, our offering, like what we actually delivering to clients, our promises, our vision, our mission, our values, like the whole thing, basically threw a match to it. And the reason that I did that was because I was just inherently unhappy with the things that we were doing over there in the space of delivering results based on what people actually want, not what they tell us. And the reason that I'm recording this is because I see this all the time now with all the clients that we're working with. There's things there that you should not be doing, and you need to evolve in the best interest of your customers. And it's not a case of just being able to offer them services and stuff that you've always done. It's really a case now of figuring out what the actual problems are and reverse engineering those problems into solutions that you can deliver that will solve those problems. And that's how you create a better customer experience. So while we go through this podcast, I'm going to give you two perspectives, one of them being from my own within the agency and what we've done through these different stages. And then the other one, I'm going to put some perspective on like a solar business, okay? Because we work a lot with solar companies, solar electrical companies. So I give you some different perspectives on what it looks like, what it looked like from us, and then what it looks like for, potential solar businesses, okay? So first and foremost, I want to talk about, there's some different stages here. And the first one is inward facing. Now, the reason that I went through this journey, by the way, I should say, this is not a comfortable experience for anyone to go through. You're essentially, you're taking your existing business and you're putting it through the shredder. And as a result, you can expect that there's going to be a massive amount of pushback within your organization, like resistance. There's going to be apprehension. You're going to have people that might want to leave. It's going to create a whole lot of on the surface problems. But what I encourage you to do is tie it back to what your beliefs are, because if people leave and they don't share that belief and that vision with you, then it's probably for the better. And this is something that we've learned, and it's a process. Don't get me wrong. It's not comfortable and it is a stressful journey, but in the interest of future-proofing your business, it is something that I think you are going to get a lot of value out of doing. And I can guarantee you're going to get a lot of value out of doing. This is also, I want you to treat this conversation like a journey. This is not necessarily just a destination. These are things that you can constantly evolve, and you should be constantly evolving. And actually, the final point that we're going to talk about is, what does that actually look like looking forward, so you can keep a regular cadence with it and you can manage these adaptations as the business progresses. So the first thing that you guys are going to want to do inward facing is have a look at what are your true beliefs? What are your vision? What's the vision for the business? What's your personal vision? What's your personal mission? What's your business mission? What are some of the values that you have both internally, and some of the values that you have laid out for your organization? Okay. So when I looked at our own agency, some of the things that, that I wanted to change was, okay, I wanted to start again in relation to what our actual vision is. Like, we wanted to create, we wanted to improve the entire landscape of marketing across the trades. That was basically the vision. Why is that important? Because we just see we have so many clients that come to us with these horrible experiences with agencies and things like that. And not only did we not want to be a part of the problem, we wanted to be the solution to the problem. The mission was, okay, well, how do we help these businesses that we're working with? How do we help them achieve their strategic objectives by delivering services and solutions that can really facilitate that goal for them? Now, to put that in the perspective of a solar company, okay, well, what are you currently doing at the moment? For example, we are selling solar panel installations. Okay, cool. But do your clients really care about that? Like, maybe some of your beliefs should be more focused towards, our goals and our mission is to make homeowners in and around Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, whatever it might be, Los Angeles. We want them to be able to run energy efficiently within their homes, or be energy neutral in relation to grid power, something along those lines, right? Because what that does is it cuts a polarizing lens over the fact that what you're currently doing is selling solar panels, and what you should be selling is a solution which enables them to be energy neutral across the grid, right? They should be able to provide energy solution. They should have an energy solution within their home, which is removing them from, grid power and that kind of thing. So what do you currently hate about what you're doing, and what is it like in the space of, okay, like for us, I hated the fact that we were selling products. And by products, I mean, people come to us and say, we want a website, or we want SEO. We go, sweet, let's go do that. But what those people didn't actually understand was that, and through no fault of their own, really, was that they weren't actually the outcomes they wanted. When people came to us, what they really wanted, and you have to unpack this as well, by the way. Like, these aren't things that are obvious, because people will come to you thinking they want one thing, when the reality is they probably want something different. So you've got to help them unpack. You've got to figure out, okay, what is the actual thing that's going to solve their problem here? When people come to us and they say, we want a website, we go, great, let's do that. What for? And they go, well, we want our phone to ring more. And I'm like, okay, well, the website's not going to solve that problem. Like, yes, maybe you do need a website, but there's other things that need to be considered in order for their outcomes to be reached. Same deal for solar. If you're a solar business and people are coming to you saying, we want to get solar panels, you go, okay, cool, let's go do that. Or you could say, why? What are you trying to achieve here? And they will say, well, we don't want to be as dependent on the grid, and we want to be able to, we want to disconnect from the grid altogether, or we want to, reduce our energy bill by ABC. And you go, okay, cool. Well, yeah, maybe you do need solar panels, but maybe you also need to have a battery pack in your home so that you can run the home after out, like when the sun goes down, using the energy that you've harvested throughout the day. Or maybe their goal is, we just really want to charge our Teslas at home and not use grid power for it. Smart. Cool. So when are you home? We're at work all day and we get home at night. Cool. So you're going to need a battery system to be able to do that. So the point is, like, figure out what the actual goals are of the individual. What does a win look like for them? Because it isn't always at a surface level obvious. Then also figure out, okay, well, what is it that we would rather be doing here? Like what, and I'm not talking about doing something because you've always done it. I'm talking about what's going to make you feel better about delivering on the service or the product that you actually do. Like what is that thing or component of things? Like for us, like what I would rather be doing is creating a program which focused on outcomes, which focused on the result, and the result being for our clients in an agency level with trade businesses, it's we'll make the phone call or appointments booked, make the phone ring or booked appointments, right? Like that's the outcome. People don't really care where the leads come from. They don't care if it's SEO or Google ads or Facebook ads or Pinterest or carrier pigeon. No one gives a shit. They just, at the end of the day, they just want to be having good conversations with qualified potential customers, right? So what does that look like for a solar company? Well, okay, cool. We want to make sure that like what I'd rather be doing in my solar company is building out products, solutions, which encompass all the different things that they need in order to have the outcome. And the outcome is we want to be energy neutral. We want to reduce our energy bill by 90%, 100%, whatever it is. Figure out those solutions there and how you can deliver on that. So on the client-facing side of things, so that's kind of inward-facing, and I encourage you to do that. And going through that vision, mission, values exercise is invaluable. And again, it's probably something you should do on an annual or like every year, you know, like some sort of recurring cadence, because it does evolve, it does change. The next thing is client-facing. So we've kind of touched on it, but have clearly document what is it from an outcome perspective that they want. Like if you don't understand that, it's very hard for you to design a solution around it. Like for us, we knew they wanted qualified bookings into their calendars. They want having qualified conversations with good quality leads, right? That's the thing. So there's a process there that needs to happen. And for you know, your solar business, like or your customers, the outcome is, as we've kind of discussed, they're not interested in solar panels. Like solar panels are the thing that's going to help them get the result. What they actually want is the outcome. And the outcome is we want to reduce our energy bill by 50%. Like, whatever that looks like, which fits into how we work in our family and our household. Yes, we have one person that works at home. We have two people that work out on site, you know, during the day, and they come home at night and they want to charge their electric vehicle, whatever it might be. You've got to unpack that. You've got to figure out what it is they actually want. So once you understand what those things are that they want, then you've got to figure out, okay, well, is what they're telling me the thing that they really want, right? It's because they'll come to you with a problem, or they'll come to you with what they think is the answer, but the answer is actually involves probably a few more moving parts, which they're not going to know about because they're not you and you're the expert. So when people come to us and say, we want a website, and we unpack it and say, why? And they say, because we want our phone to ring more. We know very well that the answer for them is not just the website. It's not going to help them achieve their goals. It may be a part of that solution, but it's not the solution. And if you're a solar company, it's the same thing. Like if somebody comes to you and they say, we want to get our solar panels upgraded, and you go, sweet, why? They're like, well, because, you know, we want to be able to charge our electric vehicle. And you go, cool, well, when's the electric vehicle at home? Oh, it gets home about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Cool. So if you go and change their panels and you upgrade their existing solar panels, that's not going to solve their problem at all, right? So unpack what they really need. The next thing that you need to consider is, okay, well, do we have, and what are the solutions that we currently have to help them solve these problems? At the agency level, I knew I had to go and figure out a way that we could create a product and a solution which is going to help them achieve qualified bookings every month. Like I knew that was the outcome I needed to do. If you're a solar company, maybe you're not licensed to install batteries yet. So go and get that, right? Figure out what the things you currently have, which can help them do it. Figure out the things you need to help them achieve that outcome, and then go design a solution around it, which means then you've got to go and figure out what are the resources that are available to you, or maybe they're not even available. Maybe you don't even know they exist yet, but you got to go look for them. So because there's something here that needs to change, you've got to evolve part of this process. You need to add something into the mix. And chances are, if you've never done it before, then you need to go either learn it, find it, and get it adopted into your business, which could be a case of, is it a coach? Is it a new team member you might need to hire who has a certain level of expertise? Is it a consultant that can help you with something? Is it an online training or an event or something like that that can help you learn how to do the thing? Is it a different product or a solution that you could adopt into your business, which can help you deploy that special tool, technology, system, process, whatever it might be? Is it education? Is it podcast? Is it like a video series, a book? What is it? Like, where is the answer to your problem? Who can help you get there, or what can help you get to that outcome? Because that's on you to go figure that out. When customers come to us, and this is really common, they will come to us because they want leads. That's the problem that they have. But you need to then unpack for them, okay, well, what does this actually look like in practice, which is the next point. Because what will this new angle, or does this new angle that you're going to adopt into your business, this new vertical, this new product, this new solution, this whole complete new mindset within your business, is it going to unpack further problems? And chances are it will. For us, we know that as soon as we start generating leads for clients, the next part of the process for them, which is going to be something they need to learn and adopt and evolve, is their sales process. Because all of a sudden they've come from this world where they're getting these leads from warm traffic, referrals, word of mouth, and all this kind of stuff. And now they're in this space where we're generating cold leads for them, and they need to have a process down in order to help them manage these new sales inquiries. And if they don't have that, essentially all of these leads that we're generating them is just going to cause problems. It's going to be like throwing fuel on the fire. So from the perspective of a solar company, like if we go ahead and install these panels and it doesn't solve the problem they're after, they're going to come back to you because they're not going to be satisfied with the result, the outcome, despite the fact that you've only done what they've told you to do. So are there other problems that might arise from you just installing these solar panels? Yes. And those problems will be, they're going to be pissed off because they still can't charge their Tesla at night. So you've got to unpack that stuff. So then, cool. If that's the case, how do we support that? Like, what does that actually look like? Because when you take customers on this journey, then first of all, they've got to be willing and wanting to actually learn to evolve the process. And that has to become part of your conversation with them in the early stages. Do you actually want to improve this? Like if a customer comes to you and you can tell them, listen, we can help you harvest this energy, we can help you store it, and we can help you control the whole thing off your phone. Do you want us to set these systems up and train you on how to use it? And like, if that's the answer is yes, then great, they're a good fit for that product. But if they're not, then you've got to be realistic, because if they're not willing to do whatever's involved to help them get that outcome, then all it's going to do is have them turn around and just be disappointed with the result. And it's likely because you haven't done enough work in the early stages to vet them properly. So make sure that you're supporting them, right? Because as these things are new for them, they need to understand and they need help and guidance step by step with the various stages. And you will likely, what will inevitably happen is, and we see this at the agency now, we generated them leads, cool. So now we need to help them with a sales process. So then the sales process needs to evolve. Well, what does that actually mean? Well, it means that maybe now they need to retrain their field technicians and their staff on the new process, which is going to be uncomfortable because they're used to doing things a certain way and they think it's working. And it may well be working, because the greatest enemy of excellent is good, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean because something is working within your business currently that it can't be improved. And I really encourage you guys to have that mindset and think outside of the box here. I'll give you a prime example right now of how this parlays into the solar vertical. And we see this all the time, right? With clients that we're working with as part of their sales process. Typically, it's like leads come in, great, phone call. Phone call then is, okay, can we book someone to come out to site to take measurements? Now, normally at that point in time, there's not enough qualification being done there, which means when somebody's being sent out to site, they're going out to a site which isn't properly qualified, which then means when the person out on site is speaking to this customer or not yet customer, they have a much less chance of turning them into a closed project or getting a quote submitted or whatever it might be accepted, because they haven't done the work in the early stages of qualifying them enough when they send them out to site. Now, here's the thing, right? At a glance, that might seem like a simple fix, but what you need to understand is if you're sending your technicians out to all of these leads which aren't qualified, the downtime and the time that you'll be saving them by doing a better job in the qualification process is formidable, utterly formidable. So do your groundwork in the early stages, get the people out on site, and then here's the other bottleneck, right? When you get these technicians out on site, they go do their measuring up, they disappear back to the office, they prepare a quote, send it off to them in a few days, and then what? You spend days following up on these quotes. Why are you doing that? Don't do that. The technician goes out to site, they should be taking a deposit right there and then and scheduling the job. They should be able to prepare a quote on the spot. You're creating these bottlenecks in your business which are unnecessary. And it's only because you've been doing them over and over again that you keep doing it. So what I'm asking you to do here is take your blinkers off and think outside of the box a little bit on how you can reduce friction points, because there are friction points currently, and it's always the case. So then looking forward, how do we create a great experience? And the great experience is going to come in how invested you are in helping the person that you've just sold the program to, installed the solar panels for, whatever it might be, get the best value out of it. What does that actually look like? What's the ongoing support, the ongoing training? What's the information you can keep sending them as to how to get the better use out of what they're current doing? What's the feedback and the reporting that you're giving them on, energy consumption and things that they could be doing at different times in order to, create a better experience for them? For us, it's definitely the training space. It's like, well, when we bring people into this ecosystem, we want to make sure they have, as much support as they can. So we have like dedicated Slack channels for them where they can reach us at any time, the whole team. Then we have, training, which we put together, and, videos and things like that, which can help them understand how to use the technology we deploy for them so that they're using it better and better and constantly evolving that process. And then we have like deployment on adoption with different tools and technologies so they can piece by piece understand, okay, this is what we're going to use, this is what we're doing today, and this is why we're doing it, and this is what we'll be doing next week, and this is what we'll be doing next week. So helping them understand that to help them, like, it just creates a better experience for them, and it just keeps that constant dialogue and engagement. And then like first, and then the last piece of the puzzle really is like, what's the next evolution? Like how are you going to prepare for that? Like, what does that actually look like? Because you need to sort of have a bit of understanding with, whatever you're doing out there, what is the next thing that we're going to be able to provide or show to our customers, which is going to, again, help create a better experience beyond what we're doing today, beyond the actual initial service. So for us, the next step for us is not only are we going to generate these conversations, we're actually going to qualify them for you. So we're going to have somebody who's going to take the calls, book them into your calendars. So all you really have to do is show up. Like, that's the next evolution for us. And our customers know that, like, it's coming. What is it for you? So if it's a solar company, the next evolution might be new technology, new monitoring. It could be a new system that's coming onto the market. Who knows? It could be a number of different things, but you have an obligation and, truthfully, a responsibility to be getting back in touch with these people and these clients and educating them more about what's coming. And this is a good thing because touch points lead to re-engagement. And re-engagement basically means they're going to be spending more money with you because they know, like, and trust you, and you've been helpful, right? So anyway, this is going to be turned into a checklist, guys. You can head across to the site shed. You can download it. We'll also post it in the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, head across there. We're going to be putting a lot more of this stuff out, actionable checklists, things that you can basically take and deploy within your business. Like, that's what we want you guys to be able to do. Just take this and deploy it. So hopefully that was helpful. And by the way, if you are watching this or you're listening to this, wherever, just subscribe. If you have any experiences with this or it's been useful to you, let us know in the comments. Or if you want any feedback or if you want me to expand on anything that I've mentioned here in a further episode, I will do that as well. Just let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I won't know. So wherever you see this come across, if it's on YouTube or Facebook or in an email or whatever it might be, do me a favor, leave some comments, give me some feedback. Thanks, guys. Ciao. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Side podcast. If you like the sound of 30 qualified proposals in the space of 90 days, I just want to recap. Head across to tradie.wiki/offer. Watch the videos, fill in the form, and make sure you book a time to have a chat with me. This is for businesses that are making $50,000 a month in revenue, are located in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, or the USA, and you're a trade business or a contractor that works with project-based work. Head across to tradie.wiki/offer. Yes, I realize it sounds too good to be true. Trust me, it works. Do it now. I look forward to chatting to you soon. Ciao.